All right, welcome back to another episode of Colourful Conversation. Today I want to talk about bringing too much gear. This is a problem that I face still to this day quite often, and it's something that I feel I need to speak some words about. And this is all going to be coming straight from the heart and the brain. I haven't been writing anything down. This kind of just came to my mind as it's kind of been an issue for me in the past few months. So I have many different cameras that I like to use, including different photo cameras and video cameras. And so sometimes I find it difficult to figure out which ones I want to shoot with on a particular day. If I'm doing client work, it's almost always going to be the same camera because it needs to be very consistent, very reliable, and the best quality I have. And so for that case, I always shoot with my Canon R6, and I have a Canon 80D as my backup, which will come in the bag just in case something happens to my main body. Next, when I'm doing personal work where, for example, I'm going for a hike or I'm going to do some street photography or something, I tend to always bring almost all of my cameras. And so that could include my Canon R6, it will include my Fujifilm X100V, and then it'll also include my film camera, which is a Canon AT1. And sometimes it becomes a problem in terms of not being able to finish a project because I get distracted by how many cameras I actually bring. So one thing that I'm trying to do more and more of, but I haven't been able to do a good job of, is documenting behind the scenes of the pictures that I take. Because nowadays, people don't really look at pictures on Instagram anymore. They look at a video. And so if I want to show my pictures, there needs to be a video included in that. And so filming behind the scenes work of those photos is kind of how I'm trying to accomplish that. But the problem I face is it's hard to be in a photo video mind frame, first of all. But second of all, if I'm going to be using my Canon R6 to film myself taking a picture, it means that I need to have another camera in my hand. And often that is the X100V or my film camera. And if it's the film camera, it means that I'm not going to be getting the photos back for quite some time because I do not develop my own film. And I tend to wait a few weeks to a few months, even a few years before I develop some rolls. And so those photos can never be showcased in those videos. I could make it an effort to do that, but in terms of convenience and cost, I'm saving those moments on the film camera for later. And so then that means I'm shooting with my X100V. I do love that camera very much, as I talked about in a previous episode, but sometimes the image quality is not where I need it to be. If I'm shooting 4K video and then I deliver a photo that doesn't quite represent how good the video sees it, it's a little off. And I know that could be me just being a little bit too stubborn about it, but it makes me uncomfortable to share the work because I don't feel that it's a true representation of what I'm capable or what my gear is capable of. And so then I don't finish the project, which is no good because consistency breeds success and breeds growth. So with that being said, there's a camera that I used to use all the time, which I ended up losing, that made the process of taking photos and videos at the same time a hell of a lot easier, and that's a GoPro. I've had 2 different GoPros, actually 3 different GoPros, lost 2 of them, broke 1 of them, so it hasn't been a great track record, but I can say that I absolutely love the footage that comes from them. I love the ease of use, the size. The batteries are pretty good. I've got a bunch of them now. I've got a bunch of different accessories. I just don't have one anymore. And so I think that's something that I'm going to need to invest in again It's funny, I do say that this episode is about bringing too much stuff onto your locations, and I'm talking about getting another camera, but it's going to allow me to not have to bring more cameras. I can film with that and then shoot with the R6 so that I can get the compromise of I've got amazing video quality and then the pictures look as good as I need them to. The other thing that goes along with those pictures not looking like I want them to is when I shoot with a Canon R6, I tend to not like how the edit comes out very well. And the reason for that is I think Fujifilm does a much better job at capturing colors. And so in post-production, I don't have to edit the photos very much, which is nice. With the R6, I do have to edit the photos a lot. And then at times they don't end up how I want them to. They get nice. I can't say that I love them, but they're not as good as what Fujifilm delivers straight out of camera. So I'm in a bit of a pickle. I think I just need to suck it up and work on finishing a full project before I start a next one. At least having all of the footage down so that it's available for edit when I can have the time to just sit down and work on that. I think the last thing that I'm going to say about bringing too much gear is it's kind of a no-brainer, but it's nice when you don't have too many things to worry about and you don't have too much weight on your back. And you have room to carry other things. Like, for example, today I'm going on a little hike/shoot to a place near me called Mount Nemo. And on this place, there's a big cliff that I can overlook, which is very nice, which I want to fly the drone around. But it's also perfect because there's lots of trees around that area, and so I can set up my hammock and kind of just chill there for a little bit. Maybe do some writing, maybe do some reading. And if I had too much gear, carrying that stuff with me just isn't ideal. And then going back to the GoPro idea, GoPros are absolutely tiny. If you don't have room to put a GoPro in your bag, you don't even have room to put a granola bar in your bag. So you got to lighten up. Anyways, I think that's good for today. I will catch you guys in another episode very soon. I like doing these short little idea blobs, what you want to call them. I'm not too sure how good it sounds because I'm using headphones and I'm recording this in my car at the moment, but I'm getting it done, so hoorah. If you like this episode, please hit a like. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to all my stuff. Go to my Instagram. It's just scripts with 2 underscores. Go to my YouTube channel. Check out my stuff. Like and dislike it. Comment. Do all that good stuff. If you guys want to be on the podcast, send me a message and I will reach out back to you. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.